All right, hello everyone. I'm Gary Ryan here with you this Sunday morning, March 25th, and it is 26th, excuse me. And it is the Fed League Flash right here. All right, we are going to be taking a look at highlighting the games that took place yesterday, if you missed it, and looking at the standings as they are right now, um, letting you know about some playoff information and a couple other little things. All right, we are going to start off with an interesting note. Now, Friday night, only one of the five home teams won, and then last night, all the home teams won. So interesting. All right, Motor City. They double up the Binghamton Black Bears 8-4, and that helped Motor City kind of solidify its hold on third place a bit. Excuse me. Four unanswered goals at one point by Motor City to blow it open. At one point, it was a 4-3 game, and looking like it was going to be another struggle like Friday night was, and then nope. Motor City had other ideas. The Rocker said, "We're taking control of this game." Scott Koash, the big offensive star of the night, one goal, but five assists for 6 points. So, yeah, Motor City just went on a tear. Cade Lambden and Derek McAma each had two goals. On the Binghamton side of things, Tyler Jurich, he is now tied. He is now the co-leader, I guess you can say, of goals scored in all-time Fed history. Number 295 he scored last night. He also had two assists. But what really helped Motor City get a hold of this game was two shorthanded goals, breakaways on both cases. And Binghamton now 12 shorthanded goals surrendered this season. That's obviously a big Achilles heel of theirs. So anyway, the Rockers looking pretty solid. They are the only team currently with any kind of a streak. They've won 4 games straight now. Took 2 from Carolina last weekend and then swept the Black Bears this weekend. All right, Elmira, they have secured their playoff position. So all 8 playoff spots are locked in. We just have to see who falls in what order. But Elmira ends up topping the Thunderbirds 5-3. And wow, what a night for Joshua Sanchez. Kid comes out of college and goes to the pros, and in 2 games puts together 3 goals and an assist, including the game-winning goal last night. So not only is he scoring, but he's getting involved in clutch situations as well. There were 2 goals for FPHL scoring leader Gus Ford. However, he was ejected for a head contact, 12 minutes into the third period. I would be very surprised if he receives a suspension. I would think that the major penalty that ensued, plus the misconduct, is probably all the punishment that he's gonna face. Ford doesn't have any kind of a reputation for cheap shots or anything like that, so I really don't think anything more is going to come of that. Tristan Mock had 3 assists last night for the Mammoth, and Thomas Proudlock, again standing on his head just like he did in Friday's game. He made 44 of 47 saves, looked very, very good, very solid. And so Elmira is now the final team to lock in their spot for the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. All right, Delaware, they pulled it out. Got a 4-3 win over the Columbus River Dragons. Unfortunately, they were eliminated once Elmira won. But hey, playing for pride, you have nothing to lose. Houston Wilson had 2 goals and an assist, including the game-winning goal, which was on a power play with just 28 seconds left in the game. And Spencer Kozlowski looked very good in that. He made 41 of 44 saves for his second win. And Delaware, they ended up taking 6 out of a possible 15 points from Columbus, which Columbus, top team in the league. And so that's 30% of their point total for the whole year at this point, which is kind of an odd stat, but nonetheless. Brendan Colgan did stop 24-28 shots. He also had 4 penalty minutes, took 2 minors. That was kind of interesting. Speaking of goalies doing interesting things, well, we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, moving on. Port Huron, they keep pace with Motor City for the time being by topping the Watertown Wolves 3-1. Frank Schumacher had 2 goals, including an empty netter. Dalton J, no goals, but he had 2 assists. And Owen Liskovitz, he ended up making 37 to 39 saves in his loss. And Wyatt Hofflin only got the 1 goal in, 28 saves. And so the Prowlers still kind of hanging in there, trying to cement their place in the playoff race in the Continental Division. Final game of the night was a bit of a blowout. Game really wasn't as close as the score indicates. Danbury got back on their winning ways, 9-4 over the Mississippi Seawolves. And, excuse me, Johnny Ruiz ended up with 2 goals and an assist, including the game winner. Brian Wilson made 46 of 50 saves. 50 shots by Mississippi. They continue to generate offense. They just don't finish as often. But anyway, the interesting stat, Brian Wilson had 2 assists in the game. So I don't know when the last time was that a goalie had more than 1 assist in a game in the Fed, but Brian Wilson got it last night. So, good for him. Tobias Ajic, no fights last night, so he decided to turn on the offense instead, collected 2 goals and 2 assists. And meanwhile, for the visiting Seawolves, Yaroslav Yevdokimov had another goal and 2 assists. And so that closed out the games for the evening. Now, there is one game today. Delaware is traveling up to Danbury. 3 o'clock this afternoon face-off between the Thunder and the Hat Tricks. So we will see what kind of impact that has. Now, I had stated yesterday I didn't think that Danbury was going to be able to cement first place in the Empire Division, clinch that spot, but I was wrong. Based on Binghamton losing and Danbury winning yesterday, Danbury's magic number to clinch the first spot in the Empire Division is now a measly 2 points. This is the standings right now as it looks, up to date. Magic number on the on your right side of the board, as it's backwards for me. That is to cement that position. In other words, CRD Columbus, they need 15 total points. Now that's a combination of either points gained and wins or points lost by, in this case, Carolina. So 15 points total to cement that first place. Again, we keep talking about it. Thunderbirds and Columbus have basically a 4-game playoff, or a play-in, I guess you could say, to determine the seeding in the playoffs. That's the final 2 weeks of the season. Carolina, 4 points, and they cement second place But again, as you can see, the 7 point differential, yeah, it's late in the season, but it's still close, especially when you have 12 points up for grabs in a head-to-head meeting. So yeah, it looks like they'll definitely be in second, but they still have a chance at first. Motor City still needs a total of 12 points to cement third. Port Huron, uh, obviously, their playoff ambitions are secure. They just have to see if they're going to be able to jump up to third place or not. In the Empire Division, Danbury, as we said, 2 points. That clinches first in the uh, for the first round of the playoffs. They would right now, if the playoffs were starting tomorrow, they would take on Elmira. So 2 points, and then Binghamton is cemented into that second seed. Watertown 17 points, which sounds like a lot, but again, remember that's a combination of wins and losses. 17 points to clinch third place, and Elmira, now newly playoff team, they are right now holding down the fourth spot. So in the playoffs in the first round, it's going to be 1 versus 4 with 4 traveling. Excuse me. 4 is hosting the first game, and then 1 is hosting games 2 and, if necessary, 3. It's a best of 3 series. Same with 2 and 3. So the playoffs are beginning on April 21st. Uh, and that will be Friday, Saturday, and if necessary, Sunday. All right, so that's a look at our standings. Let's see. Tuesday, there is a presser going on. We're going to be keeping our eyes and ears open. Delaware is going to be talking about their future plans, whether or not they're going to be relocating to Aston, Pennsylvania, or another location. Now, I've heard rumors that in a couple of years, they could be playing in a new facility which is being planned for construction in Dover, Delaware. However, it would not be ready in time for next season. So Delaware still got to figure out what they're doing for the 2023-24 season. So Tuesday, again, they're supposed to have a press conference to talk about that and clarify everything, and we will find out what goes on with that. Speaking of teams on the move, or new teams coming in this case, Barry Soskin talked to Sean Johnson from Benchmire Hockey, and just to give a little update on the new team slated for Wytheville, Virginia for next year. He said plans for the arena with all the construction and remodeling that needs to be done. Everything's uh, on schedule, and he said he's got boots on the ground. He's already looking at staff for the team, head coach and support staff. But he said everything right now is on schedule, and the ice will be in. And come next October, Wytheville will have themselves a nice arena down there at the Apex Center, ready to go. It's supposed to be a 3,000 seat arena down there. All right. And speaking of people that he could hire, I've got to give a shout out. Yesterday, I had some fun with Ben Szilagy, who did the play-by-play this last week for the Motor City Rockers. And I just want to clarify, he did a great job. He had the fun with the name mispronunciations, but that can happen with anybody because there is no translation or pronunciation guide that the PR guys and the Fed get. So everybody's got to kind of look at the list and it's like, Nidzieko, who is this? Or whatever the name is. So he did a fantastic job. He's a type of person that a new team, whether it be Wytheville or Baton Rouge, he's a type of person that you need as your PR director. He's fun, energetic, and engages with the audience, and very energetic. Did a great job. That's the kind of person you need to help build your brand and support your team and get the word out. But anyway, That's my plug. All right, so we're out of time. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and also remember that we're on Spotify on Wednesdays. Follow that. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.